Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt Q&A Sundays. I'm your host, LJ Young, here to help you leave the debt matrix, no longer be a slave. I think it's funny how people get upset when I talk about slavery all the time. You know, when you hear the people get upset, they don't realize the reason why they're getting upset is because they're slaves. Because if you're not a slave and somebody calls you a slave, you won't care what they say because you'll just say, I'm not. That's just the way you feel. So I think it's hilarious. Anyway, let's 3 minutes before we get started. Let's see here. Welcome. Beautiful day here in sunny South Carolina. Well, it's kind of cloudy today, but it's warm. Still wear a tank top outside if I want to. Couldn't do that in Seattle. No way. Beautiful green grass. I live in a wonderful area. I ain't gonna lie. I really do. I live in a wonderful city and a wonderful area. Anyway, welcome. Get started in about, let's see, another minute and a half. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't be shy. I'll put this up early. Let me put the invite link up early. There's the link, just in case if you want to ask me some questions. If there's no questions, we're just going to go an hour. Then we're going to go ahead and cut that off. And then we're going, because the purpose of today is really for you guys, give you some information, personal finances only. Personal finances only, so you guys can get this information for free. What's up, Dale? What's going on, man? Oh, you got a sunny day in Washington today. Very rare, but hey, you did it. It's there. Is it cold, though? Is it sunny and cold? That's what I used to hate, too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love sunny days, but I like sunny and warm. I don't really like sunny and cold. And summer's not going to get there till Seattle until about June. Hello, everybody. My name is LJ Young, and I'm a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt and financing everything that goes down in value, living paycheck to paycheck, aka slaves. That's where slaves live. There's two kinds of slaves. There's unconscious slaves and there's conscious slaves. Unconscious slaves don't trust mathematics and don't know they don't trust mathematics. Example, they believe their homeowners with 30-year mortgages. Okay, that's not mathematically true. All right, first of all, it doesn't take 30 years to pay off a house, and no mortgage in the world makes anybody a homeowner. That's why you needed a mortgage, because you didn't have the money. There's only one way to buy a house, and that's with cash. All right. Believing you got the car, believe you financed the car for 84 months and believe you got it on sale. That's not true. That's not mathematically true. That's unconscious slaves say things like that. All right. And conscious slaves were once unconscious, came across the SMD channel and discovered that they were a slave. They added up all their debt. Add up all your debt, student loans, tickets, child support, mortgage, all that stuff. And then open up your calculator, put in your savings minus your debt and hit equal. Now, this is how you go from unconscious to conscious. If you put in all your savings and all your debt and hit equal on the calculator, to become conscious, you have to believe what the calculator tells you. So if you hit equal and it's a large negative number, you got to believe it and say to yourself, wow, I'm below zero by that much. Yes, that is your true net worth. That's how much you are worth. That's how much money you have. It doesn't matter what all the people say around you. Those are unconscious slaves that don't believe it. Once you believe it, you become conscious, and then you do whatever it takes to become free. Work 2 jobs, 80 hours a week. Trust me, it's amazing when you figure out you're a slave. When you figure out that you're a slave, you're going to do anything and everything to not become a slave, right? So this is where I lived in the debt matrix until about age 40, 41. I'm 51 now, okay? But I woke up around 40, 41, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey basically said, take the math that you learned in grade school and apply it to your finances. And that's what I did. I applied it, did the baby steps, became free. I didn't realize I was a slave until I freed myself, got out by getting out of debt. That is the moment when I realized I was a slave. Now I took the principles that I learned from Dave Ramsey, because it's just mathematics. It's all math and money are one. Okay. You can't separate math from money. The only thing that can separate math from money are feelings. All right. If you feel like you deserve a vacation and you have no money, those are feelings. And the bank is always there to accommodate you. Okay. Oh, this is your other account. All right. All right. So what I did, since it's math, I stripped out, like I said, I took what Dave Ramsey taught me. And since it's math, I stripped out religion. Religion has nothing to do with mathematics. Tithing, it doesn't have anything to do with mathematics. Even with the financial part, what Dave says, start if your mortgage is your final debt, start saving for, you can start putting away 15% of retirement. Well, you can't, according to the laws of mathematics. If you have a mortgage, you can't put any money in away. You can't put any money away towards retirement because you have no money. All right. So you can't tithe if you have a mortgage. According to the laws of mathematics, you cannot tithe money. You can't do that. Right. So I strip all that out. I'm not saying if you're religious, I'm not saying never tithe again, give money to church. I'm just saying get out of debt so you can have real money to do what you want to do with your money. That's all I'm saying. Okay. All right. What's up, Aaron? What's going on? LJ, I was first. Hmm. Well, Aaron, let me tell you something, Aaron. Okay. This is why that's probably happening to you. Right. She's nice has already told you, don't do all caps in the room, right? But you still do them. Okay. And then the last time that I made you a mod, when I made you a mod, the first thing you said when you became a mod, now I can write all caps and nobody can stop me. See, it's like you can't do stuff like that. All right. So you I don't know what else to tell you, man. I don't. Lord says, if you're debt free looking for a house, do you look in areas that are not HOA owned by the organization? That's that's personal preference. I personally will never buy a house with the HOA. I don't want any committee. I'm not going to be paying some, like, okay, put it this way. If I imagine the majority of people got mortgages, imagine paying your mortgage, the taxes, and HOA and PMI. I'm not paying. I'm getting bare minimum. So say like I needed a mortgage to get a house. The only mortgage I'm getting is the best one in the United States of America. That's the only mortgage, whatever that is. That's the only one I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna have HOAs. I'm not gonna have PMI. I'm not gonna be doing any of that. Okay. What's up, E-Man? What's going on? What's up, Messi? What's happening? What's going on? Now today is for you guys, okay? Today is for you to ask questions of me if you want to be free. Maybe you don't know you're a slave. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck. You can't figure out why. You can't, no matter how many raises you get. Uh, I'm here. This is the answer right here. I have the blueprint for you. I promise. Doesn't matter who you are, what your career is, how deep in debt you are. I have a plan for you. I can create a plan for you. Okay. Right now, there are people out there hurting really bad financially. Okay. Don't let social media fool you. That means scamming is on the high alert. Scams are at an all-time high because people are running out of money. And you will be very surprised what people in debt do. All morals go out the window. Okay. You see, You see PPP loans and SBA loans, scamming is at an all-time high. Who do you think doing that? Slaves. Slaves are doing that. Why do I say only slaves? Because only a slave would risk the time in their life for money. So if you get caught doing that, that's a federal crime. That's a federal crime. So you'll be a slave until you're dead. So like most slaves that get that kind of money, 100 grand, they've never seen 100 grand in their life. So that means they never had 100 grand. And guess what? When they have to pay it back, they'll never be able to pay it back. Slaves for life. That's how they make slaves. What's up, Philly? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, okay, that was you on the Instagram. All right, I saw you there. Cool. All right. Would you keep your American Express Platinum card with the 550? Oh yeah, I don't do that. I don't pay to have plastic in my pocket. I just absolutely refuse to do that. I'm not doing none of that. I don't want an American Express card. I got a MasterCard, no annual fee. I don't pay to have plastic in my pocket. No, thank you. And that's a good question. Great question, because I get people asking me that a lot. I just don't do that. All right. Let me put this up here. Now, if you got any questions or you want a consultation, there you go. Website scrolling on the bottom. Uh, I really, you know what it is? I try my best to explain to people, if you've been in debt all your life and you thought debt was just part of life, I'm here to tell you that that is not true. That's not true. Everybody doesn't have debt. Uh, uh, have you ever noticed, like, when you asked the regular person, "Hey man, how you been doing?" "Oh man, I'm stressed." "Oh, just stressing, man. Stressed." I mean, slaves will say that like it's normal. Do you realize you don't have to have stress in your life? I don't have stress in my life. None. Zero. I don't allow stress in my life. I don't. Did you know that? Debt causes stress. Debt will cause you not to be able to sleep right, not to eat right. Imagine year after year not being able to get a good night's sleep. I get 8 hours every day, 8 hours minimum, 8 hours. I'm in the bed by at least midnight. I get up about 8 o'clock the next day. Sometimes earlier, 7:30. Counts on what time I want to start my meditation. But 7 to 8 hours every day, mandatory. But you got to remember also, with no stress and no debt, I sleep like a baby. I don't have anything to stress about or think about the next day, because nothing exists. You want to live like that? Do you think that I'm here to tell you that it's possible and you don't have to be rich? That's a lie too. Okay. There's a lot of people out there telling you guys some bad information, man. It's just coming from slaves. It's just business. I promise you. If they're whatever they're doing to make money, if it's legal, it's just business. All right. Nothing more than that. What's up, Nick? But I know what I got myself into, but this is a superpower. This is a financial superpower. Nobody, I'm telling you, with this, it's a gift, okay? This is a gift. Once you have this gift, nobody will be able to fuck with you financially. Nobody. Nobody will be able to financially fool you or trick you or try to get you to invest in some side deal or some MLM or whatever, right? That stuff will not work. Because it's a different language. When you get outside the debt matrix, you will understand that speaking debt free is a different language. Slaves in debt, they don't know that they say the things they say, right? Like when they go out and finance a TV, they don't know, and they tell people that they financed the TV. They don't know what they're saying. When they go finance a car, "Oh man, I was at this car lot." "How long were you at the car lot?" "All day." To finance a car for 84 months? Only, and then drive off the lot thinking they got the car on sale? Only slaves do that. You think they know they say that in public? They don't know they say that in public. They don't know that. What's up, Omanike? Top shelf. This world is lovely, man. There's nothing like it. You'll never go once you cross over, though. Let me tell you something. Once you cross over, there is no going back. There is no going back. You can't you will not be able to just unlearn what SMD teaches you. You will not just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm tired of being debt free. You know what? I'm cool with financing a car. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with financing phones. Oh man, I want the latest and greatest iPhone every single year. I'm cool with financing it. That will never, ever, ever happen. You will discover getting services that phone service, car insurance services, cable services. You will find out quickly that you don't have to pay the same price everybody else pays. Only slaves pay high prices for all that stuff. Blue book value for cars. You know what blue book value is for? It's for me too, but I only look at Kelly Blue Book when I sell a car, never when I buy a car, because I will always buy cars from slaves for half the price. Now, honestly, I was thinking about this today, and I think Omanike was she commented on one of my memes or writings or something in the community of the YouTube, right? Right now, since the market is so red hot, right now is the time to refinance your house, because the banks now, if you're behind on your mortgage payments, okay, I'm gonna just give you some advice, okay? Just listen closely. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, and the bank should be you're not going to catch up especially if you're like 6 months behind. Just go to the mirror and say to yourself, there is no way I'll be able to catch up with these mortgage payments. No way. So the bank is going to be reaching out to you guys soon to talk about refinancing into a 40-year mortgage. Okay. This is what I strongly suggest you do if you're trying to keep your house. All right. Or whatever you think you can't keep it, you don't own it. I'm just using the words that they use in the debt matrix. I strongly suggest refinance your house and pay off your student loans. I strongly, strongly suggest you do that. Strongly suggest, especially why the housing market is overpriced. They're getting 10-20% over their asking value. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. Take all that money, refinance, pay off those student loans. Thank you, Top Shelf. Much appreciated for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Love when I reach people. Appreciate it. Because I want you guys to take this money and win. I mean, take this knowledge and win. Oh, I got to tell my girl, turn off this damn AC. It is freezing. Could have swore I turned it off before. Avoid slave prices, family. Yep. Avoid them slaves pay full price for all that stuff. We don't do that. I notice, when I use the when I use the word slave, man, boy, those slaves they get turned up, get all emotional, and don't get me wrong, I like when people go out and find some things. They be like, "Hey, LJ, man, they're talking about you over here." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Somebody want to ask me a question. I went over there and answered the question. He didn't like my answer. Yes, they will. Okay, that is true. They will still need to pay off the home. That is true. But if let's just say let's just use 2021 right now. Let's just use that example. Say like they refinance their house and pay it off their student loans. And then for some reason the economy takes a tank and they lose their job and they lose their house. Guess what else they lose? They lose their student loans too. They sure do. Hey man, and I'm not saying I want you. I'm just saying if that happened in that order, that's how it would happen. Okay. I'm just saying. But you think slaves would ever think? No, if a slave, if the bank introduced them to refinance the house, you know what a slave's going to do? They're going to give the money right back to the bank. They're going to pay off the cars, pay off the credit cards. The bank owned credit cards and the bank owned cars with the bank owned house with the bank's money. People always here, let me put that up there because I always forget. Thank you for reminding me of that. There we go. No, that's not it. There we go. There we go. Top shelf. Thank you, sir. I always forget to put that up there. See what I'm saying? Now you get it. See what I'm saying, Dominique? Unforeseen. Now I don't want you to lose your house, but just put this as a backup plan. You refinance your house, pay off your student loans. Things go good. Hey, you pay off your house and your student loans through your mortgage. Cool. But if some unforeseen circumstance happens and you lose everything, you lose everything. All right, including your student loans. What's up, Beauty Jock? Hello, hello. Hey fam, even the Bible says the borrower is slave to the lender. Don't get your bag slaves, especially y'all religious ones. Right? The borrower, that's what's so crazy. It says this right in the Bible, right? It says, now I'm not religious. Okay. I want to make sure that's clear. I only reference the Bible so I can show people that are religious and say, hey, look, this is where I got the word slaves right here. This is where I got it. I got it in the Bible. I got it in the Bible. Shout out to Top Shelf for the Cash App donation. Thank you, sir. I always get thrown off by the names, and then I see another name. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Top Shelf just asked for it. Okay, cool. Appreciate that very much, sir. I want you guys, especially when you're younger, you're in your 20s and your 30s, and hell, even 40s, it don't matter, because that's when I woke up at age 40, right? You can turn this around, man. The whole game, man, I'm telling you, it's a whole entire different financial world. It's totally different. Everything will be different for you. Your whole life will change. You will never be the same ever. Ever. Appreciate it, James. Thank you, sir. You know what's so crazy? I hear that a lot now. Every time I get off the phone with a person, because I always, even though I'm helping people, right? I always make sure I tell clients that I appreciate them. And the reason why I say that, because I appreciate them trusting me, because I had to put in some hard work to earn you guys' trust. I had to put in work. When I first started doing this, I was talking to myself on YouTube for an entire year on my lives. I would get on lives and only be talking to myself. One person will pop in, disappear. It would go one. These are the numbers I saw for a year. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 0, no, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0. It would go back. But I said, you know what? This is an unbelievable type of freedom. I'm going to reach the right people that have been wandering around the debt matrix, trying to figure out something's wrong, something's not right. How come I'm not getting ahead? Doesn't matter what type of job I get. Doesn't matter how many raises I get. I'm still not getting ahead. Here is the answer. SMD is the answer. Okay. What's up, Cosmic? Man, the same verse says the rich will pour the poor. What'd you say? The man, the same verse says the rich will pour the poor as well. Pour the poor. Okay. I got to see that. Okay. Pour the poor. I know there's a meaning in there. I'm not getting it, but I think I know what you mean. Exactly. Walking around like zombies, just like on the movies. I told you that. You guys think the Matrix is fake? That the Matrix is real. All those people that you see walking in the background in the cities acting like they don't see the main characters in the movie, that is true. Slaves have no idea that they're walking around just like that. They have no idea. Thank you, Nick. The whole verse is the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. It is so true, man. And you know, so crazy. This is another thing. And again, I'm not religious, but I'm just saying. As a kid, my mom is very religious. Okay, so I watched a lot of like Jesus type movies on TV, and every time in these movies, slaves were treated bad, whipped, chained. They were just treated horrible. And it says right there in the Bible, the borrower is slave to the lender. So they're basically saying, you see how slaves are treated, right? The borrower is Proverbs 22:7. The borrower is slave to the lender. If you're doing this, that means you're a slave, and this is how slaves are treated. How I read it. That's exactly how I read it. So if you have a mortgage, the bank is the lender, and you're the slave. You're the borrower. You're the slave. Now there's people like us. Now if you're a slave, there are people like us that know, and we can see you. We can see that you're a slave. It doesn't matter what kind of car you drive, right? It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what type of career you have. It doesn't matter where you went to college. It doesn't matter what kind of house you have. It doesn't matter. If you are in debt, you're just a slave. Your car doesn't impress people that know, like us. We know. We know that's not your car. The bank is letting you drive it as long as you're making the payments. The bank is also letting you park their car in their house as long as you're making the mortgage payments. They don't care if you don't cut the grass. They don't care if you update your appliances. They don't care as long as you're making the mortgage payments. That's between you and the homeowners association about your grass and bullshit. They just want the money. So if you're a person right now that believes you're making payments on your car and your house and your phone, none of that belongs to you. The bank is just letting you park their car in their house as long as you're making the payments. Don't impress you. I mean, I'm telling you, once you get out of debt matrix, that stuff literally you literally don't see it. Now I want to make sure it's clear. If I see a nice car, like I saw last month, I saw a McLaren, right? It had to have been a 2021 or 20. It was nice. Don't get me wrong, it was nice. But I'm not I'm not looking to say, "Oh my god, whoever's driving that must be rich." I don't know anything. I don't if I pulled up on him and say, "Hey man, this is a nice car," and I turned to him and say, "Are you making car payments?" and he says, "Yes." Oh well, it's a nice McLaren. The bank don't You think the bank cares about a McLaren? Not at all. The bank don't care about depreciating objects, especially when people finance depreciating objects. If you're making car payments, listen, if you're making car payments, you have no idea the financial statement that makes. If you're making car payments, don't tell anybody. Tell no one you're making car payments ever. It's embarrassing. If your student loans are older than your car that you're making payments on, you want to stop that nonsense right here, scrolling on the bottom there. Go to the website, sign up for a consultation, man. I can create a plan for you, or maybe you just need to talk to me. Either one is totally up to you. But if you want a fast track, I can help you skip a lot of hurdles. I can help you skip all the stuff that I had nobody to ask, because there's not many people that you can talk to that knows this information that I share here on the channel. The whole financial world, once you get out of debt, the whole financial world becomes quiet. Why does it become quiet? Because there's a whole bunch of slave chitter chatter, especially right now. Especially right now. Scammers at an all-time high right now, just trying to scam you. They're just preying on your fear. Here, let me tell you, the slaves, what you think people can't see because you're hiding in a nice car, you're hiding at your job, you're hiding in a nice house. All right. We know you're behind on payments. We can see that. You're for surely behind on your car payments. That's for sure. All right. Most of you guys probably hide in your car in the garage, scared of the repo man. Can you imagine hiding hiding a car that doesn't belong to you? What do you think hiding the car is going to do? You're not making payments and you're hiding the car. It's not yours. That's why you're hiding it. That's the same thing. See, here's what it is that slaves can't see. They always say, which one's better, buying or leasing? When slaves say buying, they mean financing. So what they're really saying is financing versus leasing. Now, if you said it like if the bank said it like that, hey, which one's better, financing or leasing? Slaves will wake up and say, hey, wait a minute, isn't that the same? Yes, that's the same. But since they substitute the word buying, slaves believe buying is the same thing as financing. There's only one way to buy something. That's with cash. That's with cash. You're not buying anything. You're financing. So they're the same. The bank owns the lease. The bank owns the financing. It's the same thing. They're just two different types of terms. That's it. Not different conditions inside the paperwork. That's it. The bank still owns the car. What's up, NC? How you?
What's going on, man? I'm a little sick, so I just wanted to give you
Got your mask on? Don't be passing that through the mic, man.
and man, and look, man, you gotta get it, man. And look, and now my kids want to talk to me right when I get on the phone. Yeah. That's when they come in hot. So
what's going on, man?
Okay. So I called because I was gonna tell you that I actually added up all my savings and I added up all my debt. And my savings is higher than my debt.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I just haven't. It's just a matter of paying down the rest of the student loan. But my savings is minus debt, so I'm about $1,000 ahead in my.
That is nice, man. When's the last time that happened?
I don't think it's ever happened. So I just wanted to. I wanted to give you that. I didn't even notice it. I was talking to Cosmic earlier, and I was like, let me add this up. And then I added it up, and I was like, oh, okay. So I'm actually ahead in my savings minus debt journey. I just got to pay off my student loans just so I won't have to worry about them.
You know what's so crazy? Let me ask you something too, because I know right now student loans are not on your credit report right now at the moment.
They are.
Oh, they're back on now?
Yeah. They're on.
Oh, okay.
Just my one. I only have one.
Oh, okay.
It's like $9,000. But what was your question?
Oh no, because I've been coming across a lot of people that the student loans are not on their credit reports. They removed them.
Yeah, they came off for roughly about a week or so, and then they came right back on. And I paid them. I paid one of mine off, so only have one. So
gotcha. Okay, no, I was saying because people are having trouble trying to find them. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it ain't hard to find because you can always, even if you're like, let's say that like they're trying to pay them off, you can go back in your history to see what student loans you had,
right,
and still contact those people because it ain't going nowhere. It's just in the background hiding somewhere. So they want to pay it off, they can pay it off. It's just you just got to look for it.
So do you have a plan? When you gonna attack that last little because I know you had switched jobs and I know you got a lot of things going on, man. Have you had a plan of what you're gonna
that's the next step.
Okay.
I still have roughly around $6,000 of my income taxes I haven't even gotten yet.
Oh, okay.
So
that's on its way, you mean?
Yeah, it's on its way. Somebody used my son's social security number.
Oh,
I think I told you about that. I think I told you about it. Somebody used my son's social security, my youngest son. And so of course that's going to put them in a situation where that's going to put them in a situation that they're going to have to end up getting that money back.
Do they tell
And
you
so,
who? Did they tell you who did it, or they just say somebody did it?
no, they just say somebody did it, like somebody
Gotcha.
claimed that social security number, and then
Uh,
what they do is they look at it like this. They're like, okay, if the parents didn't claim the kid,
mhm.
then you
Obviously,
basically, if the parents didn't claim the kid, then that person, because the parents have the first rights at the social
correct,
security. Then
correct.
if you have like if you're like legally guardian or something, then you can
So what
get
do
it.
they do? Do they investigate and pull the money and give it to you, or how do they
I,
do it?
I sent in I sent, like, they were asking me my because I paid a guy to do my taxes. These guys do my taxes this year.
Right.
So they said, hey, we got to send it in.
Mhm.
And that's gonna be in March. And then it's gonna take about 3 months to 6 months, depending on how long they get it, to get that part handled, because you know IRS is very slow. But
Mhm.
all in all, they're going to look at it. They're going to say, hey, this person is clearly the parent. The other person is
Right.
clearly not. So that person is going to have to pay in the long run. So they're going to get hit upside the head at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really
That's how.
don't care.
Hey, man, that's how they make slaves. And when they catch them, guess what? Fines and penalties.
Right? They're going to because, well, it might not even just be that. Like, they go to jail for that,
Oh yeah, you can lose. You can get
because
some time.
because because uh because it's going to be a heavy fine, because you're using somebody's social security
Correct.
number
That's that's
that's
that's
not yours.
identity theft. That's
Yep.
identity theft. Yeah. And they don't
So
realize. People don't realize once they get caught. That's it. They own you now. That's
yeah.
how they make slaves. Because only slaves would risk the time in their life for money. Only slaves do that.
Yeah. So I mean, when that money comes, that'll be a good, I'll use some of that to pay off my student loans, and then
Mhm.
hopefully, I did move up to co-foreman, so I'm just one step away from being a foreman.
How you
And
liking that new gig?
it's okay. I mean, the pays well. I went up from, like, I was getting like maybe like 2 or 3% of the bonuses
Mhm.
that we get. Now I go up to roughly, I can go all the way up to 30% now of the
All right.
bonuses. So
Okay. So now at your new job, tell me some slave stories. I know they're talking slaves around you there. What
um
are you keeping to yourself now? You learn to shut up now, right?
I mean, I don't really do a lot of talking. But
You learn
but
your
they
lesson.
it's just it's not even worth it. Like, they don't a lot of guys at work, they talk about stuff like, you gotta get another car, um and they got a car payment, and
Mhm.
and I mean, it's just, whatever they want to do. I mean, if they want to do that kind of stuff, I mean,
You
they
learn to
don't.
stop pulling your mask down in public,
I just
basically.
don't talk. I don't talk about it. I mean, I really don't care about them. Like,
Right.
honestly, not to be funny. Like, before, I was trying to help people.
Right.
Now I don't really care. Just, I'm focused on me and my
Correct.
kids, and I'm just trying to make
Perfect.
sure my family is good. I
That's
mean,
perfect. That's how it works. You only see them when you need to see them.
right? Like, I mean, people be trying to get me to hang out with them stuff. I really just, that's cool and all, but my
Why
own
don't you
feelings.
just say I don't want to be friends with slaves? Why don't you just say that?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying none of that. I don't even know what you're talking about, LJ. There's no slaves. What are you talking about? Slave? I'm not saying slaves. I'm not calling nobody a slave. No conversations of slave talk would be in my vocabulary. I don't even use that word. That word's not used. Um, I don't like we might, every now and then we'll have a conversation. Somebody might say, "Oh, I buy cars and gas," and I'm like, "Oh, me too."
Right,
It's not,
right.
but other than that,
No, I could tell. I could tell you've been doing your thing, man. I can tell that. I could tell. I said, NC, he's back there doing something in the background. He's kind of quiet.
yeah. The next step is after I do this, I got my first step was my first goal is to roughly make around $100,000 a year. Then
Hmm.
buy a house. The
Hmm.
next goal after that is to after I have my 6 months emergency fund, six months, maybe more, emergency
Hmm.
fund.
Hmm.
Then I kind of want to go and get my, I'm saying, I want to start investing. That's
Hmm.
just the next step after that.
Right, right.
So I have to do my research, do my homework, sit down and do stuff. But I tell you one thing, doing this job kind of helped me with understanding a little bit more about the markets and understanding where to live, what kind of damage to look for in a house. Just learning so
Well,
much stuff like that.
you definitely got some SMD family members that can definitely help you with that area. At least you ain't starting from scratch, you know.
Right,
Call up
yeah.
Cosmic and say, "Hey, Cosmic, blah blah blah," and she give you the exact answers from a debt-free perspective right off the bat.
Oh yeah. Cosmic definitely gives
Mm-hmm.
me a lot of feedback. Just so everybody knows. I mean, Cosmic a shark, man. So you just gotta
Mm-hmm.
you gotta understand. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna use her shark tactics on you. You better be ready.
And you know, so funny. Sometimes I'll be saying my slave statements out there,
Mhm.
and Cosmic grew up debt-free, right?
Right.
Sometimes I'll say a slave statement. She'd be like, I don't get it. I said, because you're not a slave, Cosmic. That's why you don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, she I think one of the biggest things that she's taught me, and I mean, I kind of do, I'm kind of doing what she did. She says, "Have your foot in three doors." Um, it's the one you're out, the one that you're in currently, and the one that you want to be in. So
Mm-hmm.
like it's like three different groups.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's there's the group you've passed, so you can kind of learn and refound like um kind of just keep giving kind of keep your foundation strong. Then you go to the group you're in, you're learning, and then the group you're not ready for yet, but you're in there just like seeing what's to come. So it's kind of like you know that's a big one for me. I like that statement that she made. She says it better than I do, but I
Nah,
mean,
man, you know what? I'm happy to see your progression, how far you've come, just the way you sound and your voice. You just don't have any more nervousness about, job, money, people
uh,
outside your immediate family. You know what I'm saying? You just don't
oh,
pay attention to that. Just you
pe-
just sound focused.
people. I mean, it's difficult at times. I mean, it is, but it's a difficult. I think a lot of people on S&D, they kind of need to always be thinking about is how they're going to get to that step, and that's just, I mean, you kind of helped me get to that initial step to get going, and I really appreciate it, So um, that was where I was at. I was lost when I first got started. So, I mean, you said it before. I mean, I sounded confused. It sounded lost. Didn't really know what I was going to do. I mean, I had a lot of emotional issues, as well. So like there's a lot of things that went into this. But yeah, you're right. Financially, I'm working on budgets now, trying to make sure I can keep as much of my money as possible.
Yeah, man, it's that weight. I always try to describe that weight that's on your shoulders when you're in debt that you really don't know that you don't have to have, right? Until
Right.
you get out of debt, and then it's lifted off your shoulders, and you're like, oh man, I can hear that weight lifted off you. You don't even have that weight on you anymore. I can hear it.
Oh yeah, when you're, I mean, technically, I haven't paid off my student loan, but I'm technically ahead on my stuff, so I'm technically debt free. But yeah, it's definitely a good feeling. I called you today because I just realized it today. So since you were online, I was like, oh, I'll just tell them, But yeah, a lot of people really need to get, the first goal is to get to zero. You got to get to zero just to get to the fish. That's not even the starting line. That's like it's like, okay, now I'm ready to go to the starting line. And that's a big deal. Just being able to be there and get started. Like you don't feel like now you're not going in the negatives. You're not staying in the world of everybody else. You're trying to get.
Well, people don't really understand that zero out of all the numbers, zero is the most powerful number because it has no opposite, right? Every zero is there saying, in order to get anywhere, you have to go through me financially. You have to go through zero. There is no other choice. You have to, right? But people don't know that.
I tell you right now. Well, unless you're raised like Cosmic or Andre, like they started out before zero. They were born. They were born past
Born at
zero.
zero. They were
They were
born
born
as.
past. They were born past zero. Like they were born past zero.
But see, they know. But see, the difference is they know zero exists. See what I'm saying? They know zero exists.
Oh yeah,
You
zero
know.
is definitely a number. It's not one to be ignored either.
And I was telling people, I said, you know how we can communicate with each other, but without, like, we know each other, right? We know, but when you're out and about and you're trying to find somebody that maybe is debt free or maybe not, I mean, you can tell, but all you got to do is ask them to count to 10 and see what they start with. If they start with 1, you probably know that they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's 0 through 9 to count to 10.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, I ain't taking over chat, but I really think that people really need to start buckling down because with the amount of money they're spending, I mean, you got to know that stimulus check was not free. No such thing as a free lunch, and
Nope.
people are about to have, like, I'm just paying attention to what groceries are going to be, and probably in like 5 years from now, what you buy now for $200 might be $400 in just 5 years, just because of the amount of money they've spent on all these programs and all this stuff. So it can't be relying on the government to make it right. You got to fix yourself.
Well,
And
if you're that's see what most slaves don't really understand, but really understand that if you're relying on the government, that's a problem. That's a sign. If you're waiting on money from them, that means you're not at zero. Obviously, if you're waiting on something outside of you to save you.
absolutely, it's we gotta make sure people gotta make sure they just pay attention to that. Just be ready for the inflation of money, because money is going to be inflating. So I mean, that's a
Well, you
guarantee.
got to remember, once you get out of the debt matrix, you understand that money doesn't exist. So you don't really have to follow all that printing money. Money's going to go down in value and all this other stuff, because you got to remember, anybody you hear talking about that, you got to always consider the source. Is it coming from somebody with student loans? Yeah, of course they think that. Money doesn't even exist. They make $100 for 14 cents. How far can it lose? How much more value can it lose? It's going to go down to 5 cents? I don't know.
I don't know, but I know. I just know that a person like you or a person like me, or I mean, I don't even want to compare Cosmic and Andre. They're like ultra aliens or something. But the person that's not like debt free, but that's dealing with like trying to get their lives together, we don't have to deal with it to the level they do. We still got to deal with it, but we're not going to deal with it to the level they do. Like the people that are in debt, but those people who are in debt are going to be in a lot of trouble. So it's like right now it's crunch time for everybody that's not in debt, man. They like that's in debt right now. It's like real deep debt. They need to figure it out in the next 5 years, because they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
But you got to remember, Cosmic has a used car with a broom in the back. Andre has a spaceship, so that's different.
You said a broom in the back?
Yeah, she keeps a broom in the trunk. Okay, and Andre has a spaceship, so that's a big difference. All right, now that's what.
Broom? Broom? What's she doing with a broom?
You know what she says to fool the people, to maybe she don't want them to know she's the owner or something.
Oh yeah. She
They
did
keep
say
that look, because people think, you got to remember, slaves think rich is a look, wealthy is a look. Like you if you're rich, you drive a certain car, you dress a certain way. Well, once you get out of debt matrix, none of that is true. Wealthy is not a look.
I don't know, man. I'm not wealthy yet. I gotta get to that level.
Well, wealthy is owning your time in your life. So as soon as rich and wealthy are two different things. Wealthy means you own the time of your life. So once you get to zero, you start. That's when you start to own yourself. Once you pay off your student loans, now you own you. because you can't own the time in your life when you're in debt. So that zero is wealthy.
It's definitely a good start, at least for me. You got these little kids. I got to make sure that they pass zero as well. I want them to be little aliens like Cosmic and
Well,
Andre.
with your knowledge now, you're gonna naturally instill that in your children. And now, if they don't, now it's not guaranteed that they're gonna listen, but it's gonna be. They won't. Put it this way: when they get older, they won't dare ask, "Hey, Dad, will you co-sign for this car for me?" They wouldn't dare do that. I promise you.
Oh, I laugh in their face.
Right, exactly.
I don't even have a car. Like, I don't even have a car right now that I would even like. My car is paid for, so all I do is just fix things on it. I got a mechanic and everything. I don't. There's no way. Like, if I buy another car, it's gonna be cash, and I'm not even going to a dealership.
Oh, I'm sure that Camry runs well, man. Camrys are good. Camrys are real good.
It does. I got some used tires and it didn't go well, so they didn't balance them. So I got to take it to my mechanic, and he's going to put new tires on it, like brand new.
Don't even mess around. Get brand new tires. Don't even get used tires. I mean, it counts on the situation you're in, right?
Right.
If you need something now, right? But if you're going to get tires, just go ahead and get new ones.
I just wanted to pass inspection because I've been doing DoorDash on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
Just for the fun of it. Like, I wanted to see how much money I would make on the weekends and stuff working DoorDash. So
I heard there's a line waiting for that to get those jobs.
That's not true.
That's not true. Oh, okay.
Nah, people, like, you can start working. Like, it might take like 2 days. Like, you got to verify who you are, make sure your stuff is accurate. But it's not. No. Like, I got. Let me tell you this. I have Uber Eats and DoorDash, and I got both of them technically the same day, and I have only worked DoorDash, and I did, and I think I did DoorDash in like 2 days. So like I mean, that was just because I was doing it at my leisure. I was out of town when I did it, so I was doing it at my leisure, and I was signed up, and I finally finished it. And yeah, they gave me a job, and but the only thing about it is a 1098. So you need to keep all your receipts, like of your gas and like any repairs you're doing on your car. Just so
honestly, I wouldn't trust that. I just can't trust having some stranger get my food, because, man, you be seeing some of them shows, like, you see what they do in some of the restaurants sometimes, right? Can you imagine what they can do with that food I just don't trust it, man. I just can't trust it.
Just to give you this, right now with the coronavirus, they tape everything. Like, they tape 99% of the food. So like, if it's not taped and covered up, they can't open it. And if they
do. So they do tape it down, and
they tape the stuff, and they put symbols on it so that you can't do that.
Crack it open.
Right.
Okay. What about the drinks? They can't tape. They tape.
Well, they tape the drinks too. Yeah, they tape the drinks.
Oh, okay. All right. At least they're doing something, I guess. I don't know. I just don't.
They weren't doing it before the virus, but they're doing it now.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm cool. I don't know, but I know I heard that people are paying more for the delivery of food than the food itself.
No, I wouldn't say that, but it really honestly depends on what you're getting. You get people that want to order McDonald's, and then you order you order $5 worth of food.
Right.
You might spend $5 to deliver it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be real. I mean, if you catch it on a busy day, if you order on a day that's raining, or you order it on a day that's
raining.
Yeah, because rainy days, people don't want to go out, so they go.
It's heavy.
It's heavy. They're busy. That's the best day to go out for a DoorDasher, but it's the worst day to order because you're gonna pay more. So they gotta pay. You gotta pay a tip to the driver, and you gotta pay a tip to DoorDash, a fee for DoorDash. So it's like, it depends on what you're buying, and then on top of that, it's not counting the promotions. Like, people got, like, Uber Eats has like a free deliveries. Like, so all you pay for is the tip, and that's it. So I mean, it just depends on what you.
So delivery fee and tip on top of the price of the meal.
Right.
Oh, hell no.
But if you
fast food, oh, hell no.
But it's not just fast food though. It's like you can get it from restaurants. let's say Papa John's, right?
Right.
Let's say Papa John's doesn't deliver in your area. They
Mhm.
don't have but one Papa John's, but they have one in the area. It'll come close to you. I mean, I ain't even get off topic with how DoorDash works, but it's just really like if a Papa John's is really far away from your house, but that's the only one close by, they
Mhm.
will pay DoorDashers to deliver that to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's a brilliant plan. I mean, it's absolutely. I mean, and I'm a lot of. I mean, grocery stores are delivering. I mean, it's just the way of the new world. Period. Right. So there's going to be hundreds of jobs. Imagine if you won't up your skills or create your own business. Guess what you're going to be doing? Delivery.
what?
Just people that don't up the. Because millions of people got lost their jobs. Right.
Right,
The o-
right.
the majority of jobs right now are delivery jobs.
Well,
Using
it honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It really depends on where you are. In North
right.
Carolina, where I am, yeah, my son. Here, my son come. My son come call me mom. Um, so stop that, stop that. So it depends on where you are because where I am, I live in North Carolina, and we have at my job we can't get enough people. We are understaffed to a point where it's embarrassing.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. That's
we we've
surprising.
we've that's why I said like I you know how long I've been working at my job, the new job. I started that
Oh,
job like almost two like it's been almost 2 months now, almost two
oh, wow.
months, and
Wow.
I've been promoted to a co-foreman because I don't. In a co-foreman, all he is a foreman with no truck.
Okay. A co-foreman is a foreman with no truck.
Right.
Okay.
So you gotta. So people gotta pay. People don't want to go and get these jobs. There's a lot of jobs, especially in like the in certain aspects. They're shorthanded so hard in certain areas.
Mhm.
IT is another one. It's extremely shorthanded right now in a lot of aspects that you wouldn't even believe. That's why you keep seeing these advertisements online and stuff.
Oh, yeah, they blowing me up. They sending me all kinda, "Hey, man, I heard you." Nope, I'm not doing none of that. I'm done with that. Done. Done with IT. Done with it.
Come
I don't wanna
on, you
fix
can't. You
nobody's
got
problems. I don't wanna
no.
fix
You gotta fix.
nobody
You
else's
gotta fix the
problem.
problem. We need you out here.
Next time hey, man, I tell you what, $300,000 a year, I'll come work for you. 300,000.
No, you won't. You be done bailed on them in a week. You
You
done
know what?
quit.
Just the thought, put it honestly, the thought of giving up 40 hours a week to a company that gives me hives.
Gives you
I get
hives.
that gives me anxiety to say, you own me during the week for 40 hours? No, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, look, hey LJ, I'm gonna get off this phone. I got the babies
All right.
here, so I'm gonna hit y'all up later.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
Take care.
All right. Later. What I order normally costs about 23. If I drove to pick it up with the Uber Eats, it was free. Tip cost 37. I mean, it's a brilliant. I mean, the way the companies are coming up with now, they're just taking advantage of. I mean, at first we thought drive. Remember when drive through first came out? People were calling people lazy. Oh my God, you can't even get out your car to get your food. Now it's a normal. People don't even trip now. Now you don't even have to leave your house. Obesity is about to go through the roof. You guys thought obesity was bad, high blood pressure, hospital insurance, all that prescription pills, all that stuff's about to go through the roof. People are going to be working from home. I mean, you don't even at least when you didn't work from home, you had to go to a building. At least you get a little bit of exercise. You got to walk to your car, park your car, walk the parking lot, maybe go up some stairs, the elevator. At least a little something. Now people are going to get nothing, no exercise. Obesity is about to go through the roof. Monique says, medical lab technologists, they need them too. They're hounding me. Okay. I mean, the medical field. I think the big business right now is going to be the medical field because the corona, obesity, uh, just no exercise. People are not going to be getting exercise at all. They're going to be People are going to be working more hours now that they're working at home because they're going to say to themselves, at least I don't have traffic. I don't have to deal with traffic. I usually spend 2 or 3 hours in traffic a day. Now I can make some money. They just make up the things in their mind to justify of working more. Retire says Harry Tubman returned back to the plantation, but that was only to free slaves. Yep. The food companies are hating Uber Eats because it taps into their profits because Uber Eats negotiates a lower price. Well, businesses know they have no choice but to use delivery services to get the food, or else they won't make business. Okay. They won't have business. It's just part of business. You got to do it. But what they're going to do is what people don't really understand. They'll just put the prices of the money that they're paying delivery services to deliver the food. They're just going to up the prices to put that price in the cost of the food. That's all. It's nothing. They're not going to be paying for that. The customers are going to be paying for that. Grocery delivery services charge 20 to 30% more per. Oh, wow. I did not know that. See, I don't use any delivery services. I go get the stuff myself. I don't, but when you go to the grocery store, okay, go to Walmart, right? They have a whole front section of parking spaces for people to come up, park, get their food brought to their car. I mean, now they wouldn't put up a whole section if it wasn't that hot, right? People are doing this. If you don't get your skills up, you're going to be a food deliverer. Now, I'm not saying nothing's wrong with it, but I'm saying, hey, if you want to do that for the rest of your life, hey, man, because that's the future. You better believe, mark my words, 24-hour delivery is on its way. Believe that. You will be able to get a package at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, because you got to remember, people are going to be working from home. That means they can work around the clock. There's going to be a night shift and a day shift from home. And those people that work nights, they're cool with getting deliveries because they up already. Why not get the delivery then? Treadmill under the desk, huh? Stairmaster. LJ, one day I will be in great shape like you. I mean, put it this way, man. I had since this corona, don't get me wrong, I'm not in it. I haven't been going to the gym every single day. I take walks. I don't have my free weights. The Like here in Myrtle Beach, man, there's not many gyms with free weights. Not that free weights make a difference, but I prefer free weights so I can stack them on. And I haven't been to the gym in a while. I still take my walks. I work out at the kids park because kids parks have like bars and all this stuff that you can get a pretty good damn workout on, right? But I didn't really pay attention to that until these times came. I was like, oh shit, I can work out at the kid park. Okay, cool. He said, I will date an overweight woman again. Well, when you're in shape, for me, I'm gonna just say like this. There's two things that happen when I got really extremely in shape, all right? Really sliced up. I've noticed that women I know guys think when your body is in really good shape, you got all these women coming at you. But yeah, it's sort of like that. But then there's a lot of women that don't approach because they believe that since I look a certain way, that I want a woman that looks that way too. And which I had to explain that to. Well, no, I like women with meat, with some shape. I don't want them cut up like me. I might as well date a guy. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it, man. I do. I do. I mean, and I do appreciate that. And I put in some work to get myself in shape the way I am. But uh when I first got in shape, I just took advantage of it. Let's just put it that way. I took advantage of being in shape. And then I start growing into myself like, oh man, that's so shallow, LJ. You don't have to do all that. And so I stopped and I just do it as a lifestyle, Let's just say I had different reasons for getting in shape. Besides getting in shape for health reasons, I had other intentions. Carlos says, if you're paying 20-30% more for food through Uber, don't worry about inflation. Exactly. Don't even worry about inflation. Don't worry about the dollar going down. Don't worry about all this hyperinflation. People crack me up when they think they know about the economic system. Oh man, if they print more money, that's going to cause hyperinflation, and then this is going to go down, and this is going to balance the wrong way. You're like, do you got student loans? No, wait. You go, are you making car payments? Yeah. Don't worry about what's going on in the economy. Why not? You're making car payments. That's why. I tracked overweight because I'm overweight. I lost 35 pounds, about 20 more to go. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I don't know. Me, I think when you get in shape, that you're okay. I always used to say this on my Food Ain't My Daddy. Before I got onto debt, I started a Facebook called Food Ain't My Daddy. And I always said this. Your body shows the world how you treat it. You can't hide it. When somebody looks at you, your body clearly tells everybody around you, hey, look how I treat my body. Look at me. This is how I treat my body. And not knowing that you need your body to walk around on earth, to get anywhere, to travel, to enjoy life. You need your body to do it. That's just the way I look at it. So, I mean, even when I was young, I made up in my mind that I wasn't going to be overweight at a very young age. I just said, nope, I'm not going to be overweight. And I never have. I've never been overweight. I've been chunky, but I've never been overweight. I just, it's just bad. It's bad health. Overweight, you just there is no benefits. There are no benefits to being overweight. There is not. But at the same time, what when I got in shape, it counts on what I was put it this way. When I first got in shape, I got exactly from the opposite sex of what I was attracting. Okay. Which was very shallow. It was just my body. It's like, okay, you want my body. All right. We can do whatever. Right. But then after a while, that is very, it says more about me than anything. So that stopped a long time ago. Because before, when I first got in shape, me and my buddies, we used to take regular trips to Vegas. Every year we would go to Vegas. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And then one year, I remember I went one last year that was, I remember saying to myself, this is going to be the last year I do this because it's just pointless. So. Oh yeah, jumping rope's good. I just started that again myself. I really did. I had started and then I stopped and now I'm starting. Summer's coming. That is true, Omanique. It's very true. But anyway, are there any more questions? If you're new to the channel and you want to ask me a question, because we're just over an hour right now. Nick, I leave that up to you, to the youngsters now. That world is all you guys now. Okay. That's all you. I'm done with that world. That world's done. I'm not even part of that world anymore. Those days are done. It's weird. It's like this. The best way I can explain it is this. Okay. Being a young man growing up, guys are constantly bombarding you that you think you're supposed to be hitting it and getting with many different women and get your number count up and all that shit is not true. That's not true. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to, I don't care what dudes say, how many women you hit. You don't have to do any of that. You can just say no. I put it this way. Find yourself. If you find yourself first, you will most definitely attract what you're looking for. I promise you. Getting physically fit and financially stable equals, yeah, it naturally goes hand in hand. It does. Being in shape naturally goes hand in hand. It does. Those days are I mean, don't get me wrong. I still like when I go walking and stuff, and I walk with my shirt off and stuff. It's cool to say, "Oh man, wow, how'd you get a six pack? How'd you get through that?" Blah blah blah. And then they always say, "Oh, how old are you?" But here in South Carolina, this is what I get the most here. Okay, in South Carolina. At first, I wasn't used to it. At first, when I moved to South Carolina, I used to always get people staring at me. Now I couldn't figure out why everybody was staring. Everywhere I would go, I was like, "Damn, why is everybody staring at me like that?" Well, most people here in South Carolina, but they think I'm Darius Rucker. They really, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been stopped at a store or somewhere, someplace where they look at me and say, "Hey, has anybody ever told you that you look like Darius Rucker?" I'm like, "Yep, all the time. All the time." At first, I didn't even know who Darius Rucker was. I didn't know who he was. They were like, I was like, "Who is that?" And it was like, "Oh, he's a country singer." I was like, "And he's black?" And then I looked him up. I was like, "Sure is. He's a black country singer." Okay, cool. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to be compared to a guy like that because I guess he's from South Carolina and he's really big here, right? And well known. But I think it's cool. I mean, I was just telling this story the other day. I was in Costco. Now, we wear our mask, to cover up the face, right? So I'm at the concession stand about to pick up some pizza or hot dog or something I was about to get, right? And there was a lady in front of me and she's buying her food and she turns around and she just stared at me. She was an older lady. She was staring at me. I was like, damn. She's like, has anybody ever told you look like Darius Rucker? I was like, oh yeah, but I'm not him. She went to grab my mask on my face to prove to her that I wasn't Darius Rucker. She wanted to see my face. I started cracking up. James says, "Man, I take trips where I don't have to waste unnecessary dollars and have hella fun." Yeah, that's true. There's many things you can do without wasting a ton of money, especially when you're debt free though. There's where, yeah, well, I know that now. I didn't know that before. I know because I know he was part of Hootie and the Blowfish or something. Some people were telling me, but I went to the store. I remember I was driving through. I was going through a drive-through somewhere, and the guy at the place, he was like, "Has anybody ever told you look like Darius Rucker?" I was like, yeah, yeah. Everywhere I go, I said, if I ever run into Darius Rucker, you know what I'm gonna say to him? I'm gonna say, "Hey, man, has anybody ever told you that you look like me?" I thought it was hilarious because I don't pay attention. I don't listen to country music, but when somebody compared and they said he's a country music singer, I was like, and he's black. Oh, okay, all right. And I'm proud of him doing that, man, to break through all the stereotypical crap. He's a country singer. All right, cool, man. More power to you. Do your thing, man. People say, "Hey, man," people been saying that. I hope one day I run into him. Don't get me wrong. I do hope. I would love to see him in person. And we probably stop and stare at each other because I ain't gonna lie. I did look up his picture and I was like, damn, he does kind of look like me. Same type of body, kind of body style, everything, man. So it was cool. I would love to go to Las Vegas to see the sights and not gamble. It is a beautiful place to go to. You don't have to gamble, and they got a lot of things to do. A lot of things to do in Vegas. Vegas. Put it this way: Vegas can be what you want it to be. It could be a family trip. It could be a singles trip. It could be a guy's trip, a girl's trip. It could just be anything you want. It counts on your mind state. What is your mental state when you're going to Vegas? So yeah, so I guess I'm Darius Rucker. So what sometimes you know what I'll do? I've been playing around with this too sometimes. Sometimes I'll walk into a place and I don't really I don't wear a lot of hats. I don't wear hats at all, really. But I'll wear one on purpose, really low, inside inside of a place, so they'll look even more. I'll be like, "Watch this." I'll tell my girlfriend, I said, "Watch me wear my hat really low inside of the place, so I can look like I'm trying to hide my face." They look even harder. They're like, "Who the hell? Why does he have his hat so low? Who is that?" Mm. Anyway, all right, we've been over an hour. little over an hour now. I appreciate you guys all. Even though even you guys in the background that join the channel and never say anything, that's cool. As long as you follow, because this is the one thing I do love. I love when people finally reach out to me and they've been saying, "Hey, LJ, I've been listening to you for 2 years, 3 years." I'm like, wow, that's like I tell you, that's like a privilege, man, for somebody to reach out to me and say they've been following me for like 2 years. Oh man, I just had to work up the courage to call you. That's like courage. I mean, and then I get what they mean. I get what they're saying, right? But I'm like, wow, 2 years, 3 years following me. That is amazing, man. That means I'm doing a good job. One day it's just gonna be, get through this pandemic, man, and it's gonna blow up, man. I'll be on stages. I'm gonna be just like Dave Ramsey on these big stages, talking to hundreds of people. It's just a matter of time. That's all. We're just living in rough times. People are just trying to survive right now. The last thing they're thinking about is paying off debt. They're just trying to keep their head above water, pay their bills, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I totally get it. But when things calm down, which they are, you can slowly see things going back to rest of states opening back up, restaurants. It's gonna get started. It has to get started. Okay. That's the way everybody has to make money. The economy has to get back going, or else nobody makes money, including rich and wealthy people. Okay. Slaves, slaves create money by working. Own your time. That's my only goal. My only goal is to own 100% of the time in my life. And the only reason why today I don't own 100% of the time in my life, because I rent. I rent. So that means I have to earn money to pay the rent. Okay. So that means I don't own my own time. I'm just, zero. I call myself maybe 0.5% slave because I rent. That's it. That's it. Now, people with mortgages don't know they're renting. If you have a mortgage, you're just renting from the bank. Stop believing what slaves tell you. No mortgage in the world makes anybody a homeowner. That's a lie. Okay, that's a complete lie. That's not true. Okay. See, when I read this from Cosmic, when she says, "Oh, I'm going to own the time of my life," you've been owning your time in your life since birth. You don't count, Cosmic. Okay. Your version of owning the time of your life is different from everybody else's. Okay. Yours alien version. What's up, Sharif? What's going on? Just saw your picture. You got. uh, it's true. I ain't gonna lie, man. Because I've been said to look like a few people. Okay, here's another one. When I was younger, they used to say I looked like the show with Janet Jackson, Why Did I Get Married? Tyler Perry. You know the guy, what's his name? Jai White, the one that was always arguing with his wife, right? They used to say I looked like him. Now I didn't see that. Michael J. White, yeah, that's his name, Michael J. White. They used to always say I look like him, and I didn't see that. But with Darius Rucker, I do see that. I do see it. We're all on our own paths, and now that NC is above zero. Oh, okay. I can get on the phone. I can get on his phone plan. All right. I forgot NC Biggs is passing out phone plans. I totally forgot about that. I could save some money. Yes, that's who it was. They used to say I look like him. Now I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Because I remember one time my friend, he was at the mall, and I guess Michael J. White was in, I think it's Jay, at the mall in Seattle, right? And he said he thought that was me. He said, "Oh man, I thought you was walking in the mall. You know who it was?" I said, "Who?" And then he said, "Michael J. The actor." I was like, "Oh, okay," but I didn't see it. LJ, if my pension pays my rent, does that mean I own 100% of the time? If your pension pays your rent, okay, I put it this way. This is how I look at it. If you didn't have to use the time in your life to earn the money to pay your rent, I would say yes. Okay. But your pension, well, you're debt free too, so it's different. It's really different. I don't want to confuse slaves. I really don't want to confuse slaves because you're different than slaves. Wait a minute. He's paying rent. What do you mean he's not? I don't feel like explaining it, slave. I don't want to explain it. In your situation, I would say yes. Okay, I would say yes because I'm not saying everybody should buy. I'm just saying this for me. I'm saying I want to, I will own my own house. I don't want to pay rent and mortgage for the rest of my life. I've been paying it ever since I was 18. Think about it. Ever since I got out of the house, since I've been on my own, I've been paying rent and or mortgage for my whole life. Had I known that I could have just saved up the money when I was in my 20s, paid a house in cash, I wouldn't have rent or mortgage again for the rest of my life, starting in my 20s. Oh man, that would have been so beautiful. Well, everybody weren't running around complaining about that rent's going up, prices going up, and you just pay for you. You don't have to worry about any of that when you just buy your own stuff. What's up, Wayne? What's going on? We'll make it an even 1:30. All right, you guys got about 9 minutes, and then we're getting off. Okay. Any questions of me before we do that? Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. I thank you guys for following. Years now. People have been following me for years, man. That is cool, man. That is humbling. uh, the people that I've helped, the people that have trusted me, my clients, man, trusted me with everything. Because you got to remember, personal finances, personal credit report. That's personal. You have to have trust, and I had to earn you guys' trust. I had to earn it. I had to put in that work. I just didn't come on the scene and just say, "Hey, buy from me. Give me your person. Oh yeah, by the way, I need your personal credit report information." I had to earn that trust. So I appreciate. Thank you all. I really do. I mean that. I really mean that. Put in work, man, and I strongly suggest this, man. When you get out here and create something of your own, and when you're debt free, you won't concentrate on money. This is the answer. Earn your customers' trust. Always. That's the number one. Earn their trust and you'll be good. Your business will be successful if you earn, because in order to earn their trust, you must create a trustworthy business. Gerald says, LJ, are you going to debate trucker and again regarding the more no. You know what? Put it this way. I'm not gonna debate it. What I'm gonna do, I probably go on those panels and just sit. And then if they ask me some questions directly, I'll answer. But I don't really debate people about mathematics. That's that's dumb. Hey man, just believe me that a mortgage doesn't make you a home. I'm not gonna. It's just math. And I like Fantastic. I like Big Truck. I don't think the one thing about Big Truck, he he what you guys can't see that he flip-flops between business and personal a lot. You guys don't. I'm not doubting that he owns houses and he's renting them out, but I want you to understand something. When he talks about houses and renting them out, that is business debt. That's business. That's cool. I'm cool with business debt. But then when he flip-flops it back, showing a framed picture of his credit report and his credit score, that doesn't make sense to me, because once you understand how it really works, you would never frame a credit report or not a credit report. You would never frame your credit score because it really doesn't mean anything, right? And I like Fantastic. He just like I don't really listen to his subjects, but I just like he's just himself, right? He's just him. He's not trying to impress you. He's not trying to be somebody that he's not. He's being himself. So that's why I respect that. That's why I respect him, because he's just being him. Now, when these guys that I go on their channels and I follow them, I don't really care what they talk about. It's what they talk about is none of my business. Whatever. If I don't agree with the topic that they're talking about, I just don't listen. I just don't go to the channel, because I'm subscribed to those channels and I get their alerts, so I always see them. And I'll just look at the title. If the title is not, if it has nothing to do with money or finances, I just don't pay attention to it because I'm not into gossip and all that other stuff. So, LJ, is strength training better than cardio when it comes to burning fat? Um, I I'm you have to watch my workout videos. Watch my let me see if I can find my now I got a whole bunch of old workout videos. Let me see. One second. I'm a different type of workout dude, right? So one second, let me see. Let me find my other YouTube channel. I think I keep all my videos. Let me see. One second here. Oh, I didn't put them there. Wait, let me see. Nope, I thought my videos were there. No, they're not there. I got a couple here. Let me paste this link here of my some of my videos. These are old, but let me post this here so you guys can. And you guys can also find some of my videos on Facebook. Food Ain't My Daddy. Let me see where I put it. Actually, let me just go there. One second here. Let me get there. One second here. And we're going to go ahead and end this today. Where is Food Ain't My Daddy? Okay, there we go. One second. All right, here is my Food Ain't My Daddy page. There you go. If you guys want to check out some stuff there, I'm starting back up. I've been posting there because I get my I eat sea moss daily, and I get it from Urban Bros BR. You can't do what, Messi? What are you talking about? Gerald says, yeah, I agree as well. An aggregate amount of content on the manosphere is oriented towards sex and relationships as opposed to authentic business. Yeah, and see, I really, and again, I'm not against what they talk about. I'm just not into gossip and things that don't really change anything. That's just my view, right? I just facts. I just want any. I'm just not into that kind of stuff. But that's kind of stuff sells. Look on Instagram, gossip just sells. It just sells. It's just business. That's how you make money. The majority of people love that. I look at that stuff like an escape because really the stuff that they're talking about, it goes on in everybody else's lives, but it's better to talk about it, other people's problems, not just yours, right? So now LJ moves are not for amateurs. That is true. Thank you, Cosmic. Thank you for the disclaimer. Now, the moves I do on those videos are not for the average person. Okay, this is called I'm really into calisthenics. It's called calisthenics. All right, I'm really into that. So it's not just because you see that and you see me what I'm doing. Don't think you have to do what I do to get in shape like I am. Okay, just not. I just enjoy doing that. Okay. All right, you guys. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm getting off, and yeah, I'm probably gonna take a walk, man. It's kind of still warm. What's the temperature? Let me check the temperature. Let's see what we got here. It is it's 73. Wow. And it's gonna be 75 in a half an hour. Still going up. Okay, cool. All right, again, thank you everyone for joining. Appreciate you. Until next time. All right, Cosmic, Gerald, Messi, Wayne, O3Z, retired, Sharif, Gabriel, Omanique, James. Oh, shout out to James. Oh, wait, who was that? James. No, was that James Sandman? I forgot to get that shout out. God dog it. James Sandman for the Cash App donation. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Sorry, I didn't have my phone right next to me. Usually I get that alert across my phone. But again, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. All right, later.